And though the path be fraught with tribulation, know that it leads to the land of our greatness, and that we walk it with you. Such were the words the gods spoke to the progenitor of my race when they sought to guide us from our base origins into a fruition of potential. The words have been in my heart every day of my reign, but now they are embodied. Welcome, beckoned. At last, this city will be complete. Because we are all of us, my whole people, incomplete. Because we are not worthy enough, not deserving enough to see such wonders of the gods. And I thought that failure was a finality. I have prayed to the gods in seclusion in hopes of an answer, but they were as quiet as the silent choir. Now the beckoned is come. With you, the gods can bear witness to us atoning for our inadequacies. We must start at once, beginning with the wreath of absolution. Something no primos would ever wish to wear. They are only made in times of great need, and we must prove to the gods our devotion. The wreath of absolution can only be created from the hands guided by Athene. I must ask you to assemble it. First, a golden prayer circlet is needed to serve as its base. The art of crafting one is all but lost to us, but I require one all the same. The last primos to wear a wreath of absolution, Arches, is buried with one such circlet. Secandra led you to me, did she not? Then she will lead you to the circlet. It lies in his crypt, in the darkest pits beneath the city. They are old halls, and they have fallen into disuse. I understand there might be trepidations in taking such an artifact from my predecessor's crypt, but I assure you, it is ordained. The times we have arrived at are desperate, and when the heavens show their intent, one cannot stand too much on ceremony. Come, beckoned.
You return. Well, the Primos has not graced the ears of his subjects in ages. What has he said to you? The circlet of Arches. And Anakatos expects me to lead you to it? Has his reclusion left him senseless? Has he forgotten his history as well as his people? Very well. As I cannot refuse the Primos, I will meet you in the crypts in the undersewers of the city. Let us deal with this as quickly as possible. We can find it in the crypts beneath the city's sewers. They are old structures, forgotten as the city was built above them. Very well. Keep close. There are worse things than marauders in these lower tunnels. They have lurked these walls for decades, raised along with the city years ago. What is it? There. That is the artifact you seek. The circlet of Arcades. By taking it, Arcades' grave becomes an empty tomb. Let us depart. Onakatos has had his fun with me, and there is nothing left to plunder. It is nothing I can share with you, Beckoned. It is not worth your time. I always thought that were I to come to Arcades' crypt, it would be because of the work of gods alone. And here I am, by the will of none but Onakatos, flesh and blood. I cannot! I will not! Even after all these years, he has not forgotten his brand of viciousness. He knows I must obey his command. I apologize for my outbursts. However, it can be hard to let convictions go. But we must. We must. Take the circlet back to Onakatos. He is most likely waiting for you. Very well. No one comes down here anymore. It is left to ruin, for the Colossi have no more need of these halls, or those interred within them. How many years did our masons toil to assemble this place? And look at it now.
Beckoned? It seems my preconceptions were off. But I still need your divine aid. The plague spreads. I have worked on this city for all my lifetime. The sewers that run below it are my masterpiece. But this work of art is besmirched by rats. These foul vermin run rampant in my catacombs, tainting it with their fetid presence. Try as I might, I cannot best the scourge. But you beckoned. Your divine intervention is needed. I have never known beasts with such low cunning and high birth rates. They are fearless as they are disgusting. I have pinpointed a much-traveled route used by the rats and seeded it with traps that can be activated on command. Find the levers that activate those traps. They've been placed on a ledge overlooking the route. When you see the rats pass below, simply pull the levers as they approach the traps. Slay the filthy vermin. Once I hunted the rats that plague our sewers with such zeal, but I have worked myself to exhaustion and am forced to rest here. Though I rest, the rats do not. Please, find the traps I laid in the sewer and lay waste to them. I wish you well.
Ah, the famed beckoned comes to me at last. Admittedly, my request might be the smallest you will hear, but I wish to voice it nonetheless. To preserve the past. All around us is the great chisel and hammer of progress, keen on dragging my people towards enlightenment. But such progress means nothing without context. I wish for someone who can find artifacts of my ancestors, reminders of our simpler times. Very good. I'll reward you for any artifacts you can find, but larger artifacts will do well for both of us. I await your findings. They are strewn throughout the teeth of Naros. They may be hidden in forgotten corners, or carried by beasts as trophies. Good luck in your search.
And it would seem that the deliverer of my people has found me at last. Many honored greetings to you, beckoned. If you would, I have more than pleasantries to discuss. Like many, I seek your prowess. A culling. Though the Colossi are a people of faith, more and more of us are reverting to the savage ways of our ancestors. The lowest of these doubters become marauders, bloodthirsty and violent, capable of nothing but wrath. They must be purged. I thank you. It is high time we bring their savagery to an end. Each marauder should carry a totem of some sort. Bring those to me as proof of your deeds. They roam the lands below the city. I do not doubt that you will find them if you seek them out in the wilds.
Please, just let me past. What is it? Unless you can somehow convince the guards to let me leave the city, you're only wasting my time. I'm sorry. It just makes you a little crazed, you see. being locked inside this city like a penned animal. All I want is to leave for a short time to travel to the Warren and check on my wife, Galatea. But I cannot leave. I did not choose to leave her, Beckoned. I wanted her to come with me, but she can be difficult to move to action sometimes. But I cannot retrieve her now, for I am one of the city's finest masons. The guard are under orders not to let me leave, so I do not die. All I want to know is that she is unharmed, but I've done so well for this city that I am forbidden from departing. Well, you can certainly try, but Galatea is stubborn as stone. Would you truly beckon? That is something. At least I will be certain that she is unharmed. I left her in the ruins of the Warren, the city's old quarry. You should search there for her. We were separated when the city was razed. I last saw her in the quarries of the Warren. Please find my wife.
Watch your step in the concourse.
You must be the Beckon. The Beckon! Would you like something to help with flesh wounds? The turrets below the city can be vicious. My potions cure all wounds. Or most of them. I can help. What can I do for you, Beckoned? Farewell.
The finest. I am sure you shall find something in my stock to your liking, Beckoned. I will be here if you need.
You bear the circlet of Arcase. Then the wreath is almost complete. The foundation is gold with runes of prayer, as I said. Now, it must be woven with blood and toil. The colossi furnish the foundation and nature furnishes the trappings. The laurels of the wreath are not crafted, but earned. We seek Teryx veins. Once they are ours, once the wreath is complete, the ritual of atonement can begin. I take it you have encountered a Teryx before. Likely the mongrel, carrion-eating scavengers that plague us. They are a common foe. We seek the veins of the Alpha Teryx. They are fierce and proud, all that is wild and savage in nature. To prove to the gods the righteousness of our faith, and we must conquer a mighty foe. They will serve. The gods sent you to bear witness to our atonement. To do that, we must complete the Wreath of Absolution. The wreath is made from the large feathers, the veins of the Teryx Alphas. They live in Eris to the south. Salvation.
Anakatos walks among us, and the citizens are awed. This act seems small to you, Beckoned, but it is enough to give my people hope. I thank you on their behalf, if nothing else. I hear you.
You must be the one I've been hearing so much talk about. The one that has been beckoned by Athene. You are truly someone special. Special enough that perhaps you could help me with a task that has been of great concern to me. I seek to restore this shrine, so that the patrols of the Teeth of Naros can take use of it. The shrine carries the blessings of the gods, relaying them to special litanies. However, the magics of the shrine have worn out. But it can be repaired. With 5 of these litanies, the magics of the shrine can be restored. The shrine is a conduit of the gods' blessings. From healing magics to invulnerability, much could be gained for the devoted. But the blessings of this shrine could be relayed to special litanies, so that the magics could be enjoyed from anywhere. The shrine has lost its magic, but it could be restored if we can bring 5 litanies back to it. Thank you, friend. I would search myself, but I would need to leave my post to do so. And I must keep the watch. 5. Yes, 5 litanies should hold enough magic to restore the altar to working condition. Gather them and bring them here. They are scattered throughout the Teeth of Naros. I could not say their exact locations, but if you look hard enough, you will find them. Be careful on your travels.
we are here. That is good. I feel hope stirring in my veins once more. It is the prospect of reconciliation that has granted me a second youth. Come. We must kill the alphas of each eyrie. With their veins in hand, we shall fulfill the gods' wishes. The Terex eyries lie in the wilds of the teeth of Naros, to the south of the city. We need not look far to find what we seek. But while there are many lesser Terex here, we seek only the plumage of their strongest and brightest. These are the true challenge. Salvation awaits. Feel Balin's embrace! Feel my wrath! Thus we begin. And as we harvest these trophies, you shall learn the journey the Colossi have taken to get here. Once we were but savages, no better than the other giant kin. We were called Myru, and to that identity we were chained, until one day, Athene spoke to us. She spoke of a destiny and greatness that was not ours, but could be. She showed us the path of ascension, and we followed it here, to the teeth of Naros. No, we are far from the homeland of our ancestors. Undoubtedly the gods wished us to renounce our savage history. It was necessary. Though the Jotun and Etin once regarded us as kin, they grew jealous of us, of the strength we gained from the gods' favor. Tensions rose to war. It was a sign from Athene to my people to seek a new homeland, where the bounty of her wisdom could be harvested eternally. Very well, Beckoned. Feel my wrath! Feel Balin's embrace! Circlet must be built. We wandered the teeth of Naros in search of the homeland we were promised. And when hope seemed lost, we found the Hyperion. It was a divine artifact. No mortal hand could have crafted it, a massive stone, alone in the wilderness, with the image of a floating city engraved upon its surface. At the city's heart was the Hyperion itself. We knew then Athene was tasking us to craft this wondrous city, to form a covenant. But we betrayed that ideal. To test our worthiness, the gods have strewn throughout Amalur riddles, puzzles, and challenges. Answering them demonstrates our greatness. The Hyperion is one such challenge. Perhaps the greatest of them. And though we discovered it years before, we still do not have the answer. Very well, Beckoned. Feel Balin's embrace. Feel my wrath. Feel Balin's embrace. Circlet must be built. In the end, the city rose, but the Hyperion did not follow. The heart of the city remained unmoved. That we could not abide. My predecessor, Arcades, sought to force the Hyperion up, but the Hyperion rejected him, killing him and his followers, and sealed itself away. Our work here is concluded. As a show of thanks, take this helm. Once reserved for our strongest fighters, it is only fitting you receive it. I must make the gods see that my people can be redeemed for the faults of Arcades. With the wreath in hand, I can conduct a ritual of atonement. As you bear the cipher, the conduit to the gods, you will bear witness. Come. We must conduct this ceremony at the site of our original transgression. Let us go to the Hyperion. If it will not, then why were you brought to me? To give pretense to salvation, to raise our hopes, only to crush them with failure? I know the gods of my forerunners. They would not flaunt the answer to their riddles without sharing it. Now come. The Hyperion awaits. Salvation